All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So, today we are going to completely finish the French Revolution, the Napoleonic era. All right, all bundled in one lesson. Okay, so this is basically the end of it. As you can see, it took 9 lessons to go over this whole thing. But hopefully, you enjoyed it because I enjoyed teaching it to you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the objectives and stuff like that. So we're going to examine the significance of Napoleon's loss at Waterloo, and then we're going to create an argument whether Napoleon should be judged as a good or bad emperor. We kind of talked about that a little bit in class, but you can still have that discussion as well. So here's the warm-up picture. So you got two pictures of Napoleon, the one on the left and one on the right. Okay. My question to you is this: what do you see are the differences between the two pictures? I'm not talking about art style, but the way Napoleon is depicted, the way he looks between the one on the left and the one on the right. What do you see? What differences do you see? The way his body language is, his facial expression, the way he carries himself. Even some students talked about the clothing, specifically the clothing, um, and things like that. So look at these pictures, analyze them, and distinguish the differences between the two. Okay, and be sure to get those down. All right. So go ahead and do that because we're going to move on in three, two, one. All right. So after the fight with Russia, if you remember from the last lesson, Napoleon basically won every single battle, big and large, all the way through Russia, and yet lost the war. So yes, it is possible for someone to win every single battle but yet lose the war. It's only happened, I mean, if my memory serves me right, like maybe 2 or 3 times in history that's ever happened where the side that lost all their battles won the war. I mean, it's a rare thing when it does happen. And but the thing is, Napoleon left with 600,000 men and only comes back with 10,000 men. So his army is basically depleted. It went from being big and strong to basically nothing. So a bunch of countries started fighting back, going, you know what? We don't like being under France's rule. So the Sixth Coalition was created, which is basically Russia, Austria, and Prussia coming together. And they kind of helped some countries fight the French. Some of them would be like, instead of being like, hey, give us some land and we'll help you get rid of France. It was more like, give us our soldiers some food, water, and a place to stay. And yeah, we'll help you kick the crap out of France. So all these countries started fighting back against France, and France was losing their control. And eventually, Paris was captured by the Sixth Coalition, and they basically said, you know what? We're not going to kill Napoleon because that would make him a martyr. A martyr is somebody who dies for something. You know, they die for a cause. So I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, the Endgame movie with the Marvel with the superheroes. Captain America, Iron Man, all that. But if you've seen the movie, you see an Iron Man, snap his fingers, and he basically dies. Spoiler alert, but he dies. He would be considered a martyr because he died to get rid of Thanos and all those guys. So he died for a purpose, and he's seen as a hero. Basically, the Sixth Coalition basically said the same thing. We're not going to kill him because then in France he'd be seen as, oh, this brave general fought against all these countries, and oh, they killed him, and they're going to keep his memory going on forever and ever, things like that. They're like, no, no, we're going to kick him out of France, send them to this island called Ilva, and he's going to stay there. Well, now someone said, well, how about who's going to lead France? They're like, well, Louis the 16th, the guy who got his head chopped off during the French Revolution. They're like, we can't have his son because during the French Revolution, they basically brainwashed his son into like denouncing his parents, saying, yeah, his mom and dad were evil king and queens, and the whole thing of king and queens of is stupid, the feudal system is dumb, and things like that. So he was like, no, I don't want to be king. That's stupid. It's evil. It's horrible. So they're like, okay, well, how about his brother, Louis the 18th? Now the brother's like, okay, I'll do it. And he's like one of those celebrity people who loses all their money and all of a sudden gets it back. So people didn't like him. He was like, I don't like you, but do this stuff for me. Come on. You know what? Do this. I'm the king. I said so. So do it. So the French people were like, this guy sucks. We don't like him. You know, he had no support from the French people. And on top of that, Napoleon, even though he was on a pretty nice island, you know, he didn't like being there. He wanted to be the king of, or the emperor, I should say, of France. So here's the thing: while he's on the island Elba, he has people watching him, right? But somehow, some miraculous way, he escapes, right? Imagine, like 100 some soldiers. Their one job is to make sure he stays there, and yet somehow, some way, he escapes. Gone. So the new king finds out that hey, Napoleon escaped, and he was like telling some soldiers, "You go and find him. If he sets foot in France, you kill him." So the soldiers go off to see if he lands in Paris, and sure enough, they see him. Here he comes. He's already landed. He's coming in, and the soldiers start charging him. And Napoleon just goes, rips open his coat, and he says, "Soldiers of the 5th Regiment, I am your emperor. If there is a man amongst you who would kill his emperor, here I am. Do it now." And these guys are like, "Oh, damn, man, he's pretty intense." So they're like, you know what? I don't like this Louis this 18th. He sucks. At least Napoleon was, for all sense and purposes, at least he was a badass. So they're like, yeah, viva the emperor, and if those of you guys know Spanish, vive, same thing in French, long live. So they're saying long live the emperor. So the Louis the 18th sends these soldiers to kill him, but what ends up happening is Napoleon now has some soldiers with him, and he's riding into Paris, and people see and hear Napoleon's back, Napoleon's back. So some soldiers get their stuff all together. They're dressing all like in their outfits. They're riding on their horses. They wait till he comes into through their town, and they ride alongside with him, or they ride behind him. And Napoleon's just riding. He's like, yeah, yeah, that's right. I'm Napoleon. And people are like, oh, viva Emperor, viva Napoleon. And he's just, yeah, yeah, that's right. He's just with his horse as he's going to Paris. He's getting all these soldiers, all these guys who love and adore him. So Louis the 18th, he's gone. He knows if I stay here, I'm gonna get killed. So he leaves. So on March 20th, 1815, Napoleon enters Paris triumphant, like I would say like a Roman emperor, you know, coming in with all these soldiers behind him. He's just rolling up people, you know, throwing flowers and things like that at him, you know, cheering him on his name. He's like, yeah, that's right. I'm the emperor. That's right. You know. But word spreads too to Russia, Great Britain, Austria, Prussia that Napoleon is back. And all those countries, again, some of them don't really like each other, but they don't like each other, but they hate France and especially Napoleon. So they're like, you know what, let's team up together. Let's end this dude once and for all. So they all pledge to work together to defeat Napoleon once and for all. Napoleon goes, oh, you guys want to fight? Bring it. I'll raise another army. And he has so many devoted veterans and other soldiers who are now of age who want to fight alongside him, fight for him because they're like, hey, this is Napoleon, man. This is our general. This is our emperor. So, yeah, he raises up another army. Now, here's the thing. So, the France has the army, but so does Russians, British, Prussian. So they have an army, but they need somebody who's pretty smart in war tactics and things like that. And the Duke of Wellington is the guy who's going to lead that army against the French. Now, Wellington knows if he goes head to head with France, with Napoleon, chances are they're not going to win because Napoleon is very smart and when it comes to warfare. But he also knows Napoleon has an ego. That's all about him. So what he does is instead of going head to head with him, he kind of runs away from Napoleon. You know, they get close to him and then they run away. So Napoleon's like, oh, look, they're cowards. See, they're trying to run away. Let's get them. Come on, charge, charge, charge. Get them. We can get them. We can crush this army. Look at them. They're running away from us. No, no, no. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep trying to get them. So Wellington knows he has to get the hole in the fallen one, which he's now doing. And then it comes to you have to pick the right spot where you have the advantage. The terrain gives you the best advantage. And he finds it at Waterloo, Belgium. Okay. So he finds this perfect spot. He goes there in this area, right? He knows the opponent's going to go through that area. So what he does is once he gets through, he circles around. So here comes Napoleon chasing him, and then he comes around, circles around, and boom! Attacks all these guys coming at this side. Then the Prussians come from the other side, and basically they surround him, they capture him. And the French are beaten badly. Badly. Okay, so Napoleon basically is forced to surrender. And this time, again, he is exiled, kicked out, not to Elba again. He's sent to St. Helena. Now Napoleon's like, oh well, my French people, they love me. They'll come for me. Didn't happen. He's like, well, I'm such a big name. All those small countries I defeated, they still fear me. No, they don't. Well, I'm the greatest general alive. I'm the great emperor. I've conquered so much. They're like, well, you didn't conquer Britain or Russia, the big countries. So again, his ego is like telling, oh yeah, I'm all this and that, but really, people are pointing out to him, no, you didn't. Nobody likes you. Nobody's scared of you, and you didn't beat the big teams. It's kind of like in football. One team's like, not gonna say any names, but let's say one team's like, oh well, we have a 8-2 record. It's like, well, yeah, those 8 wins were against teams that suck, you know, and the 2 losses were against teams that actually were good. You only beat the sorry teams, but you can't beat the big teams. Teams actually are good. You can't beat them, but you can beat the little weak teams. It's kind of the same thing with Napoleon. So here's a map of the Battle of Belgium or Battle of Waterloo. So if you see the blue, that's Napoleon. You see the one as they come in, the 2 and 3. You see how they kind of go towards the middle, and then like the 5 and 6 are like kind of trapped in a sense. Because again, look at the red; they come around, boom, and then the black side's Prussian; they come from the side, boom. You know, so yeah. Um, and like I told it said in class, when you are running, do you stop? Do you stop at a drop of a dime? When you're running, no, you can't. Like right when you stop running, you just stop. No, your momentum still carries you. You know, same thing here. Same thing in war. You're going full charge against somebody. You can't stop right away. You know, so that's what happened here. They got totally beat. So here's my question to you: with the humiliating loss at Waterloo, what do you think was the worst thing to happen to Napoleon? What do you think really plagued his mind while he was exiled the second time? Do you think it was the fact that no country feared him anymore? Not even the small ones? Do you think it was that his people didn't believe in him anymore? They cheered for him before, but now they're like, yeah, no, dude, you could stay retired at that island and be in exile. Or do you think it was the fact that people keep reminding him, dude, you never actually beat like a good team, good country, Britain, Portugal, Russia. You never beat them. So how can you say you're the best if you never beat the best? So which one do you think really made him like it really hurt his ego the most? You know, which one do you think and why? Don't forget the why. So if you say no country feared him, explain why. If you say it's because his people didn't believe him, explain why. Same thing with him that conquering major power. Explain why you think that would it really hurt his ego. Okay. So with that being said, guys, excuse me, that's the end of this lesson. Okay. Uh, hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Okay. So guys, you take care. You be safe, and I'll see you guys later. Okay.